In this first scene, we're looking at a functional component called welcome message. Notice the use of destructuring in the functions parameter to directly extract the children prop. This children prop is a special prop in React that allows you to pass components, strings, or JSX directly between the component's opening and closing tags. Here, it is used to render whatever is passed to it inside a div element. Next, we have our parent component. This component creates a variable called message, which stores a simple JSX paragraph element with the text hello, world. Now, pay close attention to how this message is included. It's placed between the opening and closing tags of our welcome message component. This is the key part that allows us to pass React elements as props. What happens here is that the message variable is being passed to welcome message as its children prop. Moving on, let's embed our parent component within a top-level component, which we'll name app. App is a simple functional component that renders parent component. This demonstrates the hierarchy in a typical React application. Parent component will render the welcome message component along with the message we defined earlier. Now let's complicate things a bit. Here's another child component called complex component. This one accepts two props, header and content. With this setup, we can customize different parts of complex component by passing different elements for the header and the content. Back in the parent component, let's say we define two constants, header element and content element, each containing different JSX elements. We then render complex component and pass these elements as props. Notice that unlike the children prop, which is implicitly passed between the opening and closing tags of a component, here we are explicitly naming the props, header for the header element and content for the content element. This gives us more control over which parts of the component we want to customize. To render our app component into the DOM, we use React DOM render. We specify the component to render, which is app in this case, and the DOM node where we want to mount our React application, commonly an element with the id of root. This is typically how you'd kick off a React application in the browser.